Hello and welcome to Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I'm Caitlin Rhiannon. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the month ahead. I'm going to be using tarot cards and oracle cards to get an idea of the energy for the month of February 2021 and how we can best navigate throughout or within those energies. So I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for every sign of the Western Zodiac. The first card will be from the Rider-Waite Smith Tarot, and that will give us an idea of what we're going to be dealing with for this coming month. And the second card will be from the Moonology Oracle card deck, and that will give us some advice or guidance on how to deal with the energy of the month. At the very end, I will also be pulling a universal manifestation card that'll apply to everybody who tunes into the video, just to give us an idea of, what we should be carrying within ourselves over the course of February. So if you are skipping cards to jump to the cards that are pulled for your sign, make sure that you also jump to the very end, just so you can get a little bit of that extra goodness in your life for this month. Anyways, since it is Aquarius season, let's go ahead and get started with our lovely Aquarians. Aquarius, your tarot card for the month of February 2021 is the 9 of Wands. This is a defensive month for you, even if it doesn't necessarily need to be, even if it doesn't literally mean that you are under attack or at, in some sort of danger, being threatened or anything. None of that is necessarily happening, but there is a worry or a concern that it could happen. So almost like you feel like you need to be ready for anything. This most likely leads to exhaustion, burnout, energetic disconnection, Aquarius. This is hard. This constant vigilance. You're not sleeping as well. You're not taking care of your needs as clearly, mostly because you're on guard. You're tense. You're worried that something is going to jump out at you from around a corner or behind, a fence or something. There is a sense of not trusting people, feeling like you need to keep things hidden, feeling like the people in your life who should be supporting you won't, that they won't understand. So you're just, cutting it off at the head and not worrying about even talking about it with them. So there is a lot of tension, whether there needs to be or not. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this month is the New Moon in Gemini card. Aquarius, you don't want to talk about it. You're afraid of being judged. You're afraid of being let down. But you got to talk about it. You have to talk about something. This isolation is not beneficial to your growth. This is draining, exhausting. Like sitting in a state of burnout instead of doing what you need to get done will be so much more frustrating than letting somebody know. I know that it's hard to swallow your pride. I know that it's hard to talk to people when you feel like they won't get it, like they don't care, and that expecting that you'll need to defend yourself before it even comes up. But you have people in your life who probably understand more than you're giving them credit for. You have people who have been through similar or who won't actually judge you like you are afraid of right now. So the advice is to open yourself up to communication and work on actually opening yourself up. Expressing to other people what's going on with yourself will help you to better understand how to navigate it or how to navigate throughout it on your own. So if you can be if you can be a little less stubborn and just talk to anybody about even a little thing, you can be more stubborn and actually get the work done on yourself. Pisces, so this one counts for me as well. Your tarot card for February 2021 is the reversed 2 of Pentacles. There might be a significant level of frustration in the material or financial world over this month. It is a lot harder to make ends meet and to balance out your work life and your social life and your home life and your family life and your personal inner life, all of that. It's just kind of it's hard to pay attention to everything when one thing isn't going right. And this month, that one thing is most likely something to do with money or the material world. So your belongings, potentially your physical self, but that's a lot less likely. This is more about like balancing your books. And it's hard to get all of the work done when it feels like it's not giving you the results that you want. It may be tempting to try and like start something entirely new. Probably not a good time to be biting off more than you can chew right now. And as it is, this reverse Two of Pentacles says that you have already bitten off a little bit more than you can chew. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the Void of Course Moon. So the Void of Course Moon is when the moon is transiting in between signs and it seems to not be anywhere. And when it comes up in a reading, it means it's not paying off. So something that you are doing right now, Pisces, over the next month or so, if you find yourself spinning your wheels, which you are likely to with the reverse Two of Pentacles, if you find yourself in this state of doing everything you can and finding no progress, then it is time to address what it is that you are doing and why it's not working. It might be that it's not the right time. It might be that it's just not the right thing for you. But something is not moving you forward right now. So it is important to use this time to pay attention to what that is so that you can let it go and focus on something that will. Aries, your tarot card for the month of February 2021, is the Empress. The Empress is about fertility and growth and nurturing and warmth. She is often seen as the divine feminine mother archetype. Excuse me. So there is a lot of nurturing and growth for you this month, Aries. You are seeing development that maybe you hadn't even expected from yourself. But you had, hoped against hope, and now you're starting to see it really grow and blossom, and you are seeing yourself grow and bloom into something new, a newer, more elevated or more whole version of yourself. You're connecting to yourself. This is a more emotionally driven card rather than logic driven. So you're connecting to your feelings in a healthy way and letting those drive you forward. You are seeing your own growth, you are validating your own growth, and you're letting that perpetuate the cycle of growth, and benefiting from it, like seeing the good and reaching out and feeling like, yes, I deserve this, I've earned this is mine, and you have enough to meet your own needs and maybe even then some. The Empress is a generous giving card, so don't be surprised if you find yourself just wanting to be there for and with the people who matter most to you. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is New Moon in Cancer, which is a reassurance that you really don't have all that much to worry about when it comes to yourself, your own well-being, and the people who matter most to you. This ties really beautifully to the nurturing nature of the Empress card, because it's like you're there taking care of them. And the softness of the Empress and the family and even mother archetype energy is pretty close to the family feelings energy of Cancer, the sign Cancer. So connecting to this emotionally driven growth can really benefit you over this next month too. Taurus, your tarot card for the month of February 2021, is the Five of Wands. Try not to be too surprised if your relationships all feel really strained, really tense, like there's not very good communication right now with the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is about conflict and like conflicting energies, just butting heads, not seeing eye to eye, not working well together. It's five people trying to put up a tent by themselves, if that makes sense. Like they should be working as a team, but each person is trying to do it on their own. So there is kind of that energy this month for you, Taurus, is just not working well with others, not playing well with others. You are probably a little bit tired of other people sometimes, and it doesn't feel like they are doing the work that they should be in order to make progress for everybody, not just like what is owed to you, but you're watching people flounder, and it's probably a little bit hard to have compassion for them right now. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the South Node. So whatever is keeping you stuck right now, whatever conflict you are dealing with, this is something that needs to be released. There is a lack of forward motion with the Five of Wands because of all this conflict and this conflicting energy. And that is it's actively keeping you stuck, Taurus. So the South Node card comes up when there is something that you have been holding on to that was really relevant to who you used to be, but isn't relevant to who you are and the person that you are becoming. So the advice is to identify this and release it. That will smooth out the energy of the Five of Wands, maybe, sort of reverse the energy, and allow real forward motion and communication again. Keep in mind, Mercury is about to go into retrograde. I think that it will actually be full swing retrograde by the time this video is uploaded. So that's, probably not just a tiny bit to do with that. Not seeing eye to eye, not communicating clearly. But don't let this keep you stuck. This is part of your learning process, Taurus. Address it, recognize it, and leave it behind you. Gemini, your tarot card for the month of February 2021, is the Three of Pentacles reversed. So this is a frustrating one because it feels like a lot of the work that you are doing, a lot of the effort that you're putting in over the next month, it doesn't feel like it's being rewarded. It doesn't feel like it's paying off. You're not able to recognize your own growth all that clearly right now. Maybe because it's really hard to see your own growth when you are right in the middle of it. And maybe because you aren't seeing the progress that you wanted to. You aren't making the progress that you wanted to. This is a sluggish month for progress. When you take 2 steps forward, it feels like you're taking another handful of steps back. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's none. And then you wonder when something's going to go wrong. There is a sense of not trusting yourself this month as well, not validating the progress that you are making because it's not what you want it to be. So you're not all that impressed with yourself over this next month, Gemini. And it feels like there is just a lot of frustration at the lack of progress that you are making. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the full moon in Aries card. So endings of some sort, something is coming to an end. It is kind of an explosive end, so do try to be prepared for that. Be careful what you wish for. Also, if you are sitting there going, man, I wish something would change. I'm sick of sitting around waiting for something to happen. I wish something would happen. You've got something happening, so have fun with that. But be prepared. This is an intense peak. This can bring closure. This could boost you up to your next level. But something to do with this stagnant, frustrated energy probably will not last the whole month. Don't just sit around waiting for something to happen. Prepare for when it does. Cancer, your tarot card for the month of February 2021, is the Empress. So you are connecting a little bit more to your family energy over this next month, and that feels really just whole for you, like making yourself whole again, like feeling united and complete. It's like a missing puzzle piece is finally clicking into place that you didn't even know that you had missed until you realized that it was gone. And there is a sense of leaning into comfort and support and feeling supported, especially emotionally. So there is still a feeling of caretaking with all of this. You are still doing a lot of emotional labor and being present for other people, but it's a little bit more balanced than it has been over the last little while for you, Cancer. There's a sense of reciprocation of the work that you have been doing, somebody really wanting to make sure that you are taken care of as well. And this is not just yourself prioritizing you. This is somebody in your life who has been your priority, is making you their priority in exchange. So there is a good balancing energy for February, grounding for February for you, Cancer. The oracle card that comes along with this is the waxing crescent moon, and you're asked to trust, just to trust, to have faith, to believe that good things can happen, and good things can happen to you specifically. You deserve good things. You have been, every now and then, and maybe more often than not, you have been dealt a pretty nasty hand, just a useless hand of cards. Pun not intended, but there it is. And you've done the best that you could with it. But sometimes you get a winning hand, and maybe this month you're actually getting some of those. So try not to reject them because you don't trust them. Try not to expect that nothing good can ever happen because nothing ever has. Something has to go right. You know, there's something always has to go wrong. That's true. But eventually, Cancer, something needs to go right. Leo, your tarot card for the month of February 2021 is the Three of Pentacles. February is going to be a really good month for work for you. Whether that is literal work and, you know, saving up your money and working on your job, your career, developing those sorts of areas, or if this is work on yourself, work on a project of yours, growth in general is really, really possible this month. Now, this is not something that's going to happen all on its own. This is not something that's going to be done to you or for you. This is something that you're going to need to do for yourself, with yourself. You probably have a small team of people that will be either there to support you or there to do the work with you. Make sure that it is a balanced team if they are working with you. This is not up to just you, if that is the case. For the most part, the focus is on your own work over this next month, though. So every now and then, make sure that you are checking in on not just the work that you're doing, but on the development that it's making. It might not seem like much at first, but it's really important that when you are looking at the progress that you have made, that you look at where you're coming from in order to be able to fully validate that for what it is. You might not recognize it as progress until you look at just the little bit at where you were before. So the oracle card that comes along with this is the New Moon in Gemini card. So as you are doing all of this work, whether it is on yourself or with other people or literal, for money work, the advice throughout this month is to focus on communication. Work on your communication skills, work on reaching out to people and responding when they reach out to you. Work on being present in your conversations, not drifting up into your head to think about your shopping list or what you have to do next week or what was on TV this morning. Try not to drift away when you are when you should be present with somebody else. But Leo, this is a really good month for you. So make sure that you're not isolating and be willing to share not necessarily share your rewards, but share some of your joy about the progress that you're making, because people are probably going to be pretty happy for you, whether you realize it now or not. Virgo, your tarot card for the month of February 2021 is the Two of Pentacles. You are a lot more grounded and a lot more balanced than you have been in past months, Virgo. This is a really good card for taking steps forward, and for feeling a little bit more stable. There is still this energy of juggling things, but right now it's like you're able to do that. Over this next month, you may be surprised at your capabilities to, in general, your capabilities in general, Virgo, but your ability to catch what has been thrown in the air, and recognize what is safe to be dropped. There's part of that. That goes along with the balance. You can't always catch what is up in the air. It's about catching the balls that are the most fragile, or what matter the most. You're doing that a lot better this month. You're able to focus on your priorities, focus on the work that needs to get done, but also balance that work with the play and the fun and the emotional or the family time. So you're not sacrificing work for relationships or the other way around, and you're able to, even if you're not recognizing as much progress as you would like to, there is a sense of constantly finding a way to move forward. So even if you find yourself, faced with obstacles or challenges, you're able to navigate throughout or around them. And the oracle card that comes along with this is the Supermoon card. So this is kind of a predictive card as well, saying, the advice is to pay attention to your feelings. The prediction is that you have feelings, and a lot of them. So over this next month, the advice is to make sure that you are giving credit and attention to your emotional self, as well as this deepened, more grounded material balance. It is great to be stable. It is excellent to be grounded. It's a lot of the time, it is downright necessary, but your feelings exist too. You exist as an emotional being outside of the material and even the physical world. So make sure that you are giving yourself a few minutes every week just to sit with your feelings and check in and make sure that you're doing okay. And if you're not, to figure out what you can do to be okay. Libra, your tarot card for February 2021 is the High Priestess reversed. You might find February a bit more of a challenging month when it comes to connecting to your intuition, your feelings, your ability to sit still and wait. Your patience is thin this month. There's especially a feeling of impatience with others and just tension with other people. They haven't been listening, and so you don't really want to listen when they come to you. So there's just this sense of internal imbalance. And this can result in impulsivity. So try to be really as grounded as you can, Libra. This is going to be a more challenging month for that, especially if you are feeling disconnected from your intuition, from your own, your psychic abilities, your instincts, all of that. It feels like there's not necessarily a complete severance or disconnect, but just like a barrier or a wall up between you and those intuitive abilities. So you're not fully able to understand what is going on in your own self. And the impulsivity that can come with that is just trying to get a rise out of yourself, trying to figure out what is going on internally by stirring things up. But action for action's own sake is not always beneficial and can sometimes land you back at square one. So the oracle card that comes along with this is the full moon in Sagittarius. And you are being asked to, if you can, slow down and pay attention, look around, see things as they are, not as you are necessarily perceiving them. This is very hard to do this month because the High Priestess is reversed. So your perception is all over the place. You're not seeing things clearly. You're not feeling things clearly. You're not thinking things clearly. And the Sagittarius full moon energy wants you to identify things, pay attention. Do those grounding exercises where you look and you see, 5 things you can touch, 4 things you can smell, 3 things you can list that make sound, 2 things you could taste, one thing you could taste probably, but that sort of thing. You go through your senses and you ground yourself in what is around you. Look at the tagline on the card says, look at the bigger picture. So try not to look at things in their fractions, in their fragments. Look at them as they create the whole. Scorpio, your tarot card for the month of February 2021 is the Knight of Pentacles. This is a deeply grounding energy, and it shows the growth that you have been doing. This is not a fast card. Knights, I find, are usually about movement and development, but the Knight of Pentacles, traditionally in the Rider-Waite Smith style, is really slow, really grounded, more focused on the movement that is happening around you. So there is a deeper attention to your environment, to your surroundings, to the people around you, to the work that you're doing, and the results that it is having, not only financially, but on you as a person as well. And you're looking at your home space, like I said, your environment, and recognizing what is working, what is not, what needs to change, what can't be changed and just has to be either dealt with, or, if you can't deal with it, finding a way out. But you are recognizing the growth that you have been doing, the growth that is happening around you, and further understanding over the month of February what you can do with all of this growth. Some of it can be harvested and used to make you feel better, make you feel full and happy. Some of it needs to get cut away because growth, weeds grow too. Growth is not always beneficial. So if you have been growing sideways, this is a good time to recognize that and shift it to forward and upward. The oracle card that comes along this month is the North Node. And the North Node is our destiny. It is what we are meant to be moving towards in this life, according to our birth charts. So for the advice for this month, the North Node says that keep moving forward. Keep paying attention to what is best for you. The tagline on the card says, step outside of your comfort zone, or step out of your comfort zone. Sorry. So this really goes with the Knight of Pentacles in recognizing, okay, good. You have your foundation. You know how things are growing. So what is it that might need adjusting? What is it that might need trimming? Now that you know what works for you on a base level, use this to further develop your own skills. The Knight of Pentacles is a really slow-moving energy, as I already mentioned. So take that slow steadiness and take one step at a time. Move yourself forward. Move yourself towards something new, towards what is pulling at your soul. Sagittarius, your tarot card for the month of February 2021, is the Six of Pentacles. So there's some financial frustration this month. It could be a number of things. The first interpretation that I usually see with the Six of Pentacles is being taken advantage of. You have been generous. You have been there for other people, either with your finances and your literal physical material resources, or your energy, which you use, your time and energy you would normally be using to work on your resources. So you have been generous, you have been there for other people, and now there is a sense of either those people are not there when you need it this month, or they are just asking for more, expecting more. There is an energy of almost of reaching out and taking without even asking permission first. Like they expect you to help them, so they just assume that you will. So if you find yourself being asked to do a favor, try not to be too surprised if you say no and get a really unhappy reaction. And be aware that your resources, your energy, your time, your abilities might already be like promised to someone. Somebody might have made promises to somebody else on your behalf without even checking with you. So try to be patient with people, but this reversal really means that it's time to focus on your own self, taking care of your own needs, especially if other people are not able or willing to do that for and with you. you need to be able to make yourself a priority. The oracle card that comes along this month is the balsamic moon. So you're being given an opportunity to release, to let go of maybe some people, maybe just some energies. But this is a healing card. The advice is to let yourself rest, let yourself heal and recover. So probably from being taken advantage of, or even just taken for granted, not appreciated the way that you deserve, the way that you need. If that has been happening, then you absolutely deserve a chance to just take a step back, let people clean up their own messes, and rest and recover your own energies. Capricorn, your tarot card for the month of February 2021, is the Seven of Cups reversed. The Seven of Cups is usually about dreams and like deep feelings, what matters most. And when it's reversed, dreams can turn into nightmares and feelings can become really, really uncomfortable and overwhelming. So over this next month, Capricorn, you are probably going to be needing to deal with some feelings that have been put aside. There is a sense of recognizing, like paying attention to reality and what is sitting on top of reality as perception. Try really, really hard over this next month to stay as grounded as you can, because your feelings are very likely to get in the way of reality, of actually understanding things. So as you are processing your feelings, it's really important to remember that feelings are not always truth. What you feel is not always the case, the fact, essentially. Feelings and logic usually don't get along, and over this next month, that is most likely the case. So try not to make decisions based off of these feelings as you are processing and dealing with your emotional self. Maybe take a step back from other issues so that you can prioritize these feelings. The longer that they get pushed back, the harder that it will be to actually deal with them. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this is the third quarter moon, which says, what needs to change? Well, it asks you, what needs to change? What needs to shift? Are you on a road that feels like it is taking you where you want to be? Most likely something is not quite right. And addressing these emotional feelings and pains and dreams that you haven't been able to realize into reality, dealing with all of those will help you figure out what it is that needs to just tweak, what needs to shift, what needs to move just a little bit over to the left instead of listing to the right. You know, where is this path taking you that you don't want to go? And how can you avoid accidentally ending up there when you're trying so hard to move the opposite way? Make sure that everything is in order. And when you find something that is not in order, that is when you almost like pull yourself up out of your feelings so that you can put it into order and then go back into your feelings. And maybe they will be a lot less confusing when things in other areas of your life start to balance out. At the end of my readings, I like to pull a card from my favorite manifestation, motivation, affirmation deck, the Super Attractor. So I have pulled one card for everyone who joins me for this reading, just to give us an idea of what to focus on, how to direct our energy, what to carry within ourselves over the course of the coming month. So the card that I have pulled for us says, I slow down and listen to the guidance that's available to me. I slow down and listen to the guidance that's available to me. So when I see this, my interpretation of this is that I slow down, I consciously bring my energy back to a more grounded level rather than rushing forward, trying to constantly move, trying to, push. I slow down and listen. Instead of talking, instead of asking, instead of demanding or trying to, in my head, trying to add it all up and figure out how to get where I need to go, I listen to the guidance that's available to me. And that is a key message as well. It's available. It is constantly available. It's always there. But the important thing is that we slow down and ground ourselves and actively choose to listen, because yes, it's there, but it doesn't help us if we're not paying attention. Anyway, affirmations can be pretty personal, so what this said to me might be drastically different from what it says to you. And if you feel comfortable sharing that, I would love to know what it does say to you down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the month ahead. I hope that the readings in this video have been resonant and that they can provide just a sort of helpful, relevant compass to offer insight, clarity, guidance, whatever it is that you need to help get through the coming month of February 2021. Please like the video if it resonated with you, and let me know in the comments below what you thought of the cards that were pulled for your sign or your signs, what you thought of the super attractor at the very end, what you'd like to see in the future. I've got a lot of things planned. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. I upload monthly videos like this and weekly ones too, to give us an idea of what's coming, how to navigate throughout it. And I will be uploading more over the next little while. I have got some guided meditations coming up, and visualizations and stuff. So if you want to see anything like that, let me know, and what kinds. And I will make sure to leave a link to my Facebook page in the description as well. If you follow me over on Hedgewitch Hearthcraft, I upload a daily card over there to give us an idea of how to move towards our own greatest good. And that's also the best way to get in touch with me. If you ever want to book a reading of your own, or if you ever want to say hi or ask any questions, feel free to reach out. Anyway, thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a fantastic month. Be good to yourselves.